Welcome home, oh welcome home. Welcome, hello everyone. Welcome home. My name is Jenjen. That song was the first song that I learned with the Seattle Laboratory Theaters Public Works production of The Odyssey. I love that song. It brings back so many good memories. And it's symbolic of the end of a long, long recovery process. I starting at a point of being a powerless woman to reaching that point of living the life I want to live. Well, I have had to overcome a cerebral palsy, and it hasn't been easy. But hey, I have become a very intelligent, wise, funny, and capable human being. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I graduated from high school. I went to college. I worked 8 years as a practical nurse. And I finished off a 40-year career as a sterile processing technician for one of the best hospitals in Seattle, Swedish. Yeah. You might call me a badass. And yeah, I am a badass, and I take a lot of shit to get there. But this isn't about that, okay? I started out in a nice family. They gave me everything I needed. Very loving, except there were a lot of problems in our family. And unfortunately, I took it on. I thought that everything that happened to me, everything was my fault because of my cerebral palsy. And I kind of took it a little far and felt that maybe God, I had to be some kind of mercenary to God or something. That didn't show up that much at all until my late 20s and early 30s. That was a very sad time in my life. Everything fell apart, you know? One of those days, one of those times, I met some weird people, and then, you know, one day I really had some bad news. I found out that I had uterine fibroids and that some of them were possibly cancer. So I had to have a hysterectomy. And at the age of 33, single and no babies, it was enough to knock me down. But you know, instead of that, I kept on thinking about my legacy. Look what I leave. I don't want to go now because I've been negative and so I'm sorry for myself. But I got help. And I managed to get through the hysterectomy with a lot of love and support of my friends. I was really amazed at how much my friends loved me and showed me love. And I went through the hysterectomy, came back out of it without having to have chemo or radiation. I just had hormonal therapy because they got all the cancer. And you know, I saw the gracious love of God. And you know, it really turned my life around. Within a month, I got a new home and a new community that I am in now. And I surrounded myself with positive people. I had faith enough to go to a Presbyterian church. And I went there for a couple years, met some of my closest circle of friends. And then one day, one of my friends decided to go down to this Episcopal church down the street from me, 2 blocks away. So I went, and so I walked into St. Paul's Episcopal Church. I knew that I had found my spiritual home. I love the music, but most of all, I was drawn towards the worship format and the liturgy. In every service, they have read scriptures from the Old Testament, a song or two, and then from a New Testament, and then a gospel. And all of this ties into a very well-balanced sermonette. The one thing I love about this church is the way we worship. We don't just say a couple of prayer or two, and sing hymns. It's like a conversation with God because we're saying aloud in unison. A lot of prayers. We had a lot of prayers during our service. And some of the songs. And it really brought me a deep feeling of belonging. So once I wasn't out on the outside looking in, I got that we all have a choice in this life. God doesn't put anything on us. God didn't give me my handicap. We had an accident at birth. And the people were not, God didn't want the people to say mean things to me of that. It was their choice. It was their perception of life and their response. And I got forgiveness because I realized that it had nothing to do with God and it had nothing to do with me. Now, forgiveness is not just letting things happen. It is realizing where the hurt is coming from. And we as people who give out hurt are hurting themselves. And so I was able to let go of that and just go on with my life. The more I let go, the happier I became. I was taking a couple of courses from Landmark Worldwide. That is a motivational organization to kind of get people grounded in the basic things of life. And I had met someone from Australia, and this woman invited me to come to Australia to help out with a landmark class. And I was so astounded, I couldn't believe it. But deep inside, I had that fear of my handicap, my face. Could I stay in another country with my illnesses and that? Well, I had 3 close friends, and they all go to my church, who have traveled all over. And in fact, one of them has been to Australia. So I went to them, and I told them about the invite and asked their approval, because these people have known me for many years, and they have gone through some of the hard times that I've had to go through. Long story short, they all agreed I should go. 3 months later, I had planned my departure for a Sunday night after an afternoon worship service. It was kind of sort of a send-off. I took myself to the service, went to the service, ate a little something, and off to the airport. But once I got on the airplane, I really couldn't go anywhere, but I really enjoyed just the thought of going to another country. I decided to go to Sydney for a couple of weeks because I wanted to do some things there. But in the back of my mind, because I still had these fears, and wouldn't you believe, when I got to Sydney, 3 of the worst fears happened. Day 1, I lost the cell service to my cell phone. Then I lost the password to my debit card. And then, a week before I was going to Melbourne, I got sick. Oh! But you know what? A Girl Scout is always prepared. And I had got all of this information with me. I knew where to go, what to do, who to see. with the help of many people and my resilience, I got well in just a couple of days. And I didn't let any grass grow under my foot. I did everything I could in Sydney, then off to Melbourne. I met my friend who invited me, and I met the people who I would be working with, and they were all just very welcoming, and they were a hoot to work with. I really enjoyed those 4 days working with them, and it all went too fast. Well, after the course, Michelle took me around the seaport of Melbourne, and beautiful country, beautiful, just a beautiful 2 days. Then I had to go home, and that was really difficult. And yet, I came back a different person. I came back knowing that I could go clear across the world and be in another country in spite of my disability and my other illnesses. I could be in another country, and I had the wisdom and the communication skills and the unstoppability to stay in that country and have fun. And that really changed my life. That was when I found the Seattle Mandatory Theatre's Public Works program. This program, you guys, is really responsible for my growth, my ability to get in front of the crowds like this and to perform. And they worked with me. They worked with my balance. They worked with my movement. They had so much confidence in me. And they wanted me to succeed. There's so much love there. When I think about when I started as a woman who gave her power away and finding a spiritual community where I could be one with the other people and worship a God that I love, and now the theater where I can put all my love and my joy on that stage, and this is the first stage out of town here. I've done 4 plays. I've written the script to the last scene of another play we wrote, and I've written the script, and I'm doing this today. I am doing things that I thought I never could do, and it's all because of the love and support that I've received. And I'd like to leave you with a mantra that I have. So it goes like this. Don't give up in the darkest hour of winter. Sun is coming back. Everything's on track.